So rather than increasing your swing speed to hit the golf ball much further, there are two other metrics that you can take into account and improve to be able to get more distance, but also improve the consistency in your golf game, with the first one being the location of the strike. If it's out the heel or toe or bottom end of the club face, it's going to be very difficult for you to gain more distance. So center strikes are certainly a key to help you improve. With the second one being the loft presented at impact. If we're presenting too much loft at impact, it's going to cause the ball to go too high. I've got an 8-iron here, so if I'm increasing the loft at impact to hit the golf ball, then it's going to act more like a 9 or pitching wedge. So in terms of getting more distance, that's not going to help you either. So these two metrics are what we're going to be looking at today. A great 3-step drill that's going to help you develop and improve those strikes with the irons and consistency in strike, and this should improve the overall direction as well. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Harry, PGA Golf Professional, transforming golfers worldwide down here at the Golf Projects. And make sure, as always, to drop a comment down below of a tips or drills video topic you'd like me to cover in a future video. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I had a few of my students come and see me down here at this facility, and a lot of them were really struggling to gain more distance, but also they were suffering, especially with the strike. No matter how fast they were swinging the golf club, they were really struggling to gain more distance. And before we dive into this 3-step drill, it's really important I show you why they were struggling to do this in the first place. So when they were taking their swing back, what they were doing really well was implementing more pressure, and a lot of you will be aware of this in the golf swing. We want to be adding more pressure into this trail side here as we start the golf swing and work our way up to the top of the swing. And a lot of them, well, all of them in fact, were doing this move very, very well. They were swinging all the way up to the top, getting this pressure, getting this good turn and rotation into the top of the swing, but it was the first move in the downswing that stopped them completely from getting that center strike, getting the correct loft presented at impact, but especially losing that distance and losing that consistency. They were swinging up to the top, adding the pressure, and then they were going this way here, pretty much in a nutshell. And that way there was me staying on my back foot as I transition in the downswing. So staying on the back foot here, you can imagine we're almost getting more time to be able to release that club head through like so. If we're going to be increasing the loft at impact, we're going to notice the club head overtake the hands before we reach that golf ball. And when the club head overtakes the hands, obviously we're increasing the loft because the club face is going to be pointing more towards the sky. But if I come a little bit closer to you, just to show you how this works as well, if we present too much loft at impact, what's the first part of the club head that's going to be touching that golf ball and making contact with that golf ball? It's going to be more likely the bottom end of the club face being the leading edge. And that's where the strikes became very poor. We noticed a couple of duff shots because the low point was getting too low and hitting the ground first, but mainly the thin golf shots because we were leaning back too much, presenting the club like this here. So we don't want the leading edge of the club face to be the first thing presenting to the ball at impact. We don't want that part winning the race. We want the center of that club face winning the race. So what do you think we've got to do to get this club face, the center of that club face, to win the race rather than that leading edge? So the leading edge is going to win the race if we get the shaft tilting backwards and the hands and the grip behind the club head at impact. But if we can do the opposite, we're going to get that center strike. We're going to get that center of the club face to win the race on the downswing. So if we can feel this motion here, where the grip end is going ahead of the club face, that's going to help us get those center strikes because that's the middle of the club face is going to be winning the race. But before you go and try this, because now you're thinking, hang on a sec, all I need to do is swing to the top, add the pressure on this lead side and just keep my hands forward through impact. The trouble with this is if you watch from this camera angle again here, if I swing up to the top, add this pressure onto the trail side as normal, and then just really encourage myself to add loads of pressure into this lead side here, yeah, I'm adding the pressure into the lead side, but what's that doing to the club? It's making it come down on a much steeper angle of attack. So I'm keeping my hands forward, but I'm just going to end up getting stuck. So from here now, I've got to jump out of it, and then we're just going to revert back to what we were doing in the first place. So to start off with, you don't need the golf club. I'm going to place the golf club down, then I would highly recommend doing this drill with the hands across the shoulders. You can place them either side like this if you wanted to. I just find it easier with the hands across the shoulders. I'm going to set up like I would normally do to hit the golf ball like this here. And to start off with, now bear with me because it's going to look like I'm swaying and you're going to think, hang on a sec, he's contradicted himself. Just give me a sec to explain. So I'm going to feel the pressure ever so slightly in the lead side. So I'm going to start 50-50. I'm going to go pressure into the lead, pressure into the trail, pressure back into the lead. So it's 1, 2, 3. And when I start to just allow the body to move in the right motion here, I'm just going to swing and I'm going to get the pressure going into the lead, trail to lead. So it's 1, 2, 3. So when I take the golf club now and do this, what we'll notice is it'll almost be a guide. It will be a guide for the arms, hands and club head just to follow the body movement. So if I just make a little like chipping like motion just back and forth now, so we're going 1, 2, 3. No movement there of me was trying to force those hands forward through the golf ball. But if I do that really slow now, so I'm going 1, 2, 3, you can see there, the club's already set, it's already been guided into the correct position to keep those hands nice and ahead of that club face and get those center strikes that we're looking for. So I bet you're thinking, well, hang on a sec, how do I feel where the weight is going in my swing? How do I know that I'm adding enough pressure into the lead, into the trail, and then back into the lead to finish off that golf swing? Well, if you're going to struggle with this and you think you'll need a little bit of a guide, this right here is a great tool for this. It's called the downshift. It's a bit like a skateboard. You place it down like so, and what this allows you to do is, as you set up here and you want to start making a few swings doing this, what you can do is try and get it to 50-50. It's quite difficult actually to do, but you'll feel it either side. And then we're going to add the pressure into the lead, into the trail, back into the lead. And I would highly recommend just doing a few chipping swings, just getting used to this. But this here just helps you develop that awareness of where the pressure is moving in your feet. Another question I'm going to answer on here now is, well, why do we start with the pressure in the lead foot? Why don't we just go straight into the trail? Well, think about it this way. If we start going straight into the trail, we're more likely to stay there because there's no trigger move. There's no trigger move to go, right, I want to be here, so I'm going to go back here, so go back down to that position there and keep turning through. If I just start with trail first and then try and swing through, what do you think? Have a look at this. So if I go up and just through, okay? Then if I start with lead to trail, so 1, 2, 3, what did you notice there? What was the difference between the two? That one there, I could swing and add way more pressure into the trail side. We're trying to gain more distance as well as improving the strike. So it's really important that we feel and encourage more pressure into the trail side. That is simply just getting that trigger to start the golf swing. You can even start off with the downshift board on the trail side like this here. Then you can feel the pressure going into the lead, just as that trigger move there, and then you can go straight back to transfer all the way through to finish. So I'm going to start hitting a few shots doing this now. Gosh, it feels weird now not having that there. Very, very cool tool indeed. But you can get these off Golf Swing Systems website, by the way. The link is in the description below, 5% off. So I'm going to start off with the downshift board on the trail side, feel it work into the lead, up. And that one there was a much better strike. I could definitely feel that attack angle going a little bit more down. The loft being presented was obviously much lower in relation to the one I hit previously, staying back on this trail side because the flight was much lower. But I'm going to actually get the results from those ones just to see on here for more golf shots to come. I'm going to do one with the downshift board, keeping the weight onto the trail side, and another one moving it and shifting it back onto the lead side. So that one there was 18.5, which is much better when doing this drill with an 8 iron. When I say when doing this drill, I'm not exactly making a full swing. That's probably going to be a little bit higher when I come to making a few full swings, but let me exaggerate how not to do it. Feel the pressure straight into the trail side and keeping it in the trail side with the downshift board here. I'm going to go here. There you go, straight away, 23.8 on the launch angle. The one previously was 18.5. There's the difference right there. You can see how much inconsistent that golf shot was. It's going high, too high. Look at that, it's even reached above the actual hitting area on this net. So I'm going to take the downshift board away for now. I'm going to make a couple of full swings with this now. Just taking this back and forth. Gosh, that does feel different now. There's nothing there for you to feel the weight, where the weight's going. So that is a brilliant tool there to use when you're working on those half swings. But to bring this into a full swing now, we're going to feel the pressure here, just to start off with. Then we're bringing it back onto the trail side and then back through to the lead side. So I'm going to really start increasing the speed of doing this now. A little bit of a draw, yeah, left of target, but the launch angle was the lowest I've done so far, 17.7. That was my fastest swing speed there by far. Again, allow the hands just to work and follow the body. Rather than encouraging the hands to stay forward, this should happen naturally. As long as you've done the drill swings correct, just making those smaller swings, feeling those movements, 1, 2, 3, it should be much easier for you when you start to bring this into full shot. So that there is a great drill for you to start off with, to feel where the pressure is going, and now you can start to bring this into the full swings. So 1, 2, 3. That one went a little bit higher there, but it was a nice strike and straight down the middle of the fairway. Right, let's see if I can get it to 16 degrees. One more shot. I tied my best there, 17.8, so not bad at all. From going from 23.8 all the way down to 17.8. So just to recap, we've spoken about the strike, we've spoken about the loft presenter impact. We don't want the leading edge to win the race. We want the center of that club face to win the race. How do we do this? We get that forward shaft leaner impact. We get the grip end and the hands ahead of the club face at impact, but without just dragging the club down, trying to keep those hands ahead, getting that shift into the trail side. We're just going to do this 3-step drill, feeling a little bit more pressure onto the trail side so you can begin with that 1, adding the pressure onto the lead side here. So it's 1, then for 2, yeah, adding this back all the way up into the top of the swing for 2. For 3, it's bringing it back down and through. So make sure you go ahead, give this a try, comment down below to let me know how you get on from watching the video, and by all means make sure you drop those comments also down below the tips or drills video topic you would like me to cover in a future one. But do me a favor, make sure you check out this video over here, which is going to help you and develop a much better understanding of how we can also transfer that weight on the downswing. This is also great for the downshift board as well. If you want one of those, down in the description below there is a discount code there and a link that'll take you straight to the product. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.